why do you think some people, when he's given advice, like he can give a lot of advice and people are in pain and people are desperate. Why do you think sometimes there's not follow through, like in your opinion, because since you've seen it firsthand happen so many times?
Well, I've seen I will say there is follow through among the injured or people in pain who are able to make change. I mean, I think that we have a lot of people who have a light bulb moment when, Kelly literally tells them like, hey, they come with knee pain. And I mean, I can't tell you, even to this day, we will get emails that have like 10 paragraphs where someone's describing their entire medical history. They've seen every specialist on earth for their knee pain. And then it actually starts to become part of their identity. Like knee pain is their identity. They're like, I'm a knee pain person. And I've accepted that knee pain is what I'm going to experience the rest of my life. And to have Kelly actually be able to give them some really simple tools like mobilizing upstream and downstream of your knee and feeding some slack into your knee and actually experiencing a change in their pain or their function, I think it's really remarkable for people. I think, and I think a lot of people come into it really skeptically. I think they're like, okay, I'm going to do these like 5 things Kelly told me to do with the foam roller or whatever, a ball or a tool or whatever. I think, people do come in skeptically, but I will say once they experience some change, people are sold. And so, unfortunately, it does seem like the most adherent are those who have experienced an injury, have been able to figure out how to solve it on their own, or not an injury, but whatever, pain, you name it. Just they've been able to solve a problem, and as a result have been able to do the things they want to do and move better. Those are the greatest adherent. And again, I think it goes back to the question about you asked earlier about what's the challenge. It's still the challenge of, getting people who aren't in pain, aren't experiencing an injury to want to care now and put a little care and feeding into the system in terms of taking care of their body. I mean, I think that's the crew.
A lot of people didn't stretch or stop stretching because they didn't even see a benefit from it. Like it just seemed like a waste of time. I used to tell my coach, I'm pre-stretched. Fine. Like, what, you want me to touch my toes? I can do that. I can sprint cold. Never made the case that I could work harder, I could feel better, that I could improve my times. Like as soon as we make it about something that someone cares about, then they're in it. So that's our failure, around this. And, if it's just, every once in a while there's a group of people like mobilizations are not my thing. They're just a set of tools to restore position. Training and positions and shapes, that's what I get involved in to help people sort out. And so there's just this set of tools that you're like, I'm anti-tool. I'm like, okay, well, what tools are you using to solve this set of problems in your athletes? Moving more, that's a great tool. But oftentimes, there's still a physiotherapist on your team. I notice that every professional soccer team has 5 physiotherapists on their team. Why is that? Do you think that they're dumb and wasting their time? Is that what it is? So if you can come up with one reason why this works, like I've heard some people who are super anti-mobility or anti-mobilization, some they're like, well, maybe it allows you to spend time in positions you wouldn't touch normally. I'm like, okay, great. So you just lost the whole argument, right? So, and more importantly, if that's for you, the thing that allows you to spend time in shapes, cool. I think that's really okay. I think you can have multiple bottom lines, but the bottom line comes back to, does it facilitate you working harder in your sport? I can usually show you that there's a net positive for that. And again, it may not be rolling around on a foam roller.
Pat Project family, you're probably wondering, how is he talking right now? Well, right now you're hearing my thoughts, and I'm just trying to tell you that you need to get better quality sleep by shutting your mouth. That's why I've partnered with Hostage Tape, the best mouth tape on the market. If you have facial hair, this will not come off during the night. Stop snoring, get better quality sleep. Don't get divorced because you're such a horrible sleeper, and get Hostage Tape now. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, and as an added bonus, you guys can see I have a lot of facial hair, and Hostage Tape does not fall off. You guys got to head over to hostagetape.com/powerproject. You guys will receive free shipping plus a free bedside tin. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
Well, one of the things we're trying to, or one of the things we've been seeing about this book is we're trying to frame it as like a 401k for your body, right? Because you're 30 and you again, like Kelly and I are 50 and we're starting to think about like, what do we want to be able to do when we're 75? You're not.
That's actually Mark Bell. People don't know that. That's
Mark Bell.
You can see it right here. We took the whole idea.
Which line though?
But it's like, we all do a lot of things now in our life where you don't, it's not immediate gratification, right? Like you put money in your 401k and it's gone, and you hope and assume you're going to have it later when you actually retire.
Neither one of these guys are good with money, so you might have to use a different example.
You guys should start a 401k. We could talk about that afterwards. But we just think about this as a 401k for your body, right? Like for people who don't
Get yourself a J-Star.
Like I'm available for advising on that later. Financial success. Anyway, so that's how we like to think about it. We want people to think about like, hey, I save money and I don't care, I don't get any benefit from it now. And so, taking care of your body a little bit, putting some input into your body now is going to reap dividends later in your life.
Are listening to this podcast, you're not the person we're talking to. We're talking to your family. You're already into all of this stuff. You're into the weird shoes. You're into the creepy stuff. You're like you do weird stuff. You stuffed me into a suit so I could squat more. Like I was into it. Like that's weird.
Yeah, you were really stuck in that suit.
I don't know. I disagree. There's a lot of powerlifters listening to this podcast, and some powerlifters I think could stand to.
Sure, all three of them. That's great.
Put some input into their body.
So, but the idea here is we think that you're already the node for so much information in your community. You tell people, you give people ideas around training and nutrition and sleep. But really, our athletes have the real chance to change their communities and society. They already do, right? They're inspiring their friends to lift. They're eating differently. They're talking about nutrition. They're getting blood panels. That's all coming from sport. And this is an easy way for you to become a super node for people who aren't going to exercise, but who are starting to think about, hey, I want to be able to do all the things I want to do.
Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.